Hello! Now imagine this. You're thinking, what choices have I made in my life? And how have those choices affected me? Now, if you're early in your life, you could probably think that, I have yet to make those choices, or I already have, but haven't seen them play out in the long term. Now, if you're later in your life, you can look back at certain moments that you would deem are key points of change. Somewhere along the line, you made a decision that had tremendous impact in how your life went. And you cannot see that until, you're there at the end. Or not exactly at the end, but, after the multitude of choices have passed and you're left with the ones that you chose, you can see how those choices affected you. And something that I thought about recently, a little thought experiments I did, is that it was the reason that I don't engage in politics. And it was because of my sense of, or maybe my lack of autonomy I feel about politics. None of the choices that I make are going to affect anything at all in politics. And the reason that I thought this is because, much like the Urge song, it's all played out already. There's been the choices that people made early in the United States government's inception, all those years ago, and the choices that those people made caused choices later down the line that those people made, who then enacted those choices later down the line into what we have now and what we will have in the future. And it's all been played out from the beginning. That was the only choice there was to make, was starting something new. And there's something quite interesting about that thought of the only way to make change is to create something new. And then once you have created it, it will unfold itself into whatever form that it happened to be in the beginning. Time, place, people, environments, everything about that inception in the creation of it is what decides where it will go. And you might be able to think, okay, that's a little bit pessimistic. None of my choices have any authority at all. But there is always an optimist perspective. And this is it. If you look at it, there are only a few choices. Really. There's only a few things that make change. And that is good because we have already seen the effects of analysis paralysis. Whenever you have millions of choices, you can't make one. But if you think about it in the sense that there are only a few choices, there are only a few things you can start. And it all begins at the start. Whenever you create something, you made a choice. And if that choice involved other people, if that choice involved a lot of money, if that choice involved a lot of resources, or if that choice involved having your finger on the pulse of something new and using that opportunity to create something, anything, that creation is your choice. Anything you make is your choice. And that's kind of how I see it. That my choices are few and far between, but will have impact if I make them. Because there are few choices, if there's less things going on in your system, an addition of another thing changes much. And that is really just to help with the absolute doomer mindset of there being no choices because there's already billions of choices, and that your choices have no impact because there are billions of other choices already being made that negate yours. So, using this mindset of you have only a few choices, but these choices will cause great impact if you make them, then that gives you more autonomy. Everyone's looking for autonomy nowadays. We love autonomy, and we may love it a little bit too much, but that's another video. And this mental model gives you that autonomy. Even in the vast multitudes of our current reality of many people making many choices that feel like they aren't doing anything except going against your choices, right? There's always an opposition to whatever idea you have. But the real choice is making a new idea. That's where autonomy lies. In invention, in creation. To make. So, go out there and make. Anyways, toodles.